Hi, I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Casey. We're both engineers on the device team here at Rabbit.
2025 is all about trying to get AI agents to control operating systems to make our lives a bit simpler. And here at Rabbit, we've been experimenting with that a bit. To show you what we've been working on, we've got an Android tablet in front of us, and we're going to send it some commands and see what happens. Okay, to start, we're going to try to turn off the notifications for a kind of annoying app, Candy Crush.
And so what we have here is we have our rabbit hole LAN playground connected to the Pixel tablet here. And so the Android agent is running on rabbit hole and needing to communicate with the tablet to figure out what the current state is and what's available for it to do. And also it needs to figure out from this user query what it should do. And so we've kind of given it the hint of go to settings because a lot of Android apps have both notifications in the app itself, but in this case, we want to do it at the OS level to make sure those notifications are off.
Cool. It opened settings, went to our apps list, found Candy Crush, and toggled it pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's great. For the next test, I want to send Kevin here a poem about the rainy day we're having on WhatsApp. And so this takes some of the liberty of what the agent's going to do at the start with the LLM aspect. I've asked for a rainy day poem, so it needs to expand that into a natural language response. That way, when it hands it off to the actual Android driver part of this, it has the text it needs. And so we do have a few options here. It does have to click into Kevin before it can send that message.
So it's found me, and it looks like it's located at the message text field. So let's see what it comes up with on the created side here.
Now, popular, and it's going to send you an individual message for each file.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much, Rabbit Agent.
Yeah, that saved me so much work. I didn't have to actually come up with a poem today. We do this daily.
I wonder if we told it to shift enter, it would have made new line breaks without sending.
I like to make sure you got the message. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Our next prompt, we're gonna try to have our Rabbit agent interact with some media apps. So let's ask it to play the new Jurassic Park trailer on YouTube.
And so one of the cool parts about the Android agent is it's based off of the major computer use models that are coming out. So we're really excited to see the innovations and speed ups that OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google are all going to have with these models, because it's just going to make our Android agent faster. But in the meantime, while they work on those hard model level changes, we have a lot of tricks up our sleeve to make this faster in and of itself.
It's interesting that it's a pending 2024. I wonder where it's coming up with.
Yeah, with latest, that's interesting. That might be coming from when the model was trained, and so it knows new is 2024. That's probably an issue on our side. That's a quick fix. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Sweet. All right, our next prompt for our agent is a little bit more fun. We're going to ask it to go into our cocktail app, find a random cocktail with whiskey in it, and then add the ingredients to our existing grocery list in Google Keep.
And this is a great use of having Android agent leverage apps that are already a good knowledge source. LLMs can generically pull that information, but we already have our home bar and what ingredients we have in this app. We just want a random thing, and maybe we want to get one or two ingredients at the store. I'm not trying to stock my kitchen with brand new, a full set of mixes and alcohols for just tonight.
Cool. So the agent found the search icon of the magnifying glass and automatically knew that was probably what you needed to click to see the then hidden search field. So now it's inputted whiskey into the search field and gotten a short list and selected a random one, which is our whiskey sour.
And again, it's leveraging that we've already filled this app with some data about ourselves, so we only need a few ingredients to make this happen tonight.
Now, the state of Google Keep as is getting passed back to our agent, and hopefully our agent sees that the grocery list already exists.
And yeah, you can see here, it saw that the grocery list is there. And it's just going to need to figure out how to actually add stuff to this list.
Cool. So it looked like where there, at the end of the list that was existing, there was a plus icon. And it affiliated that with clicking it and knowing that a field would appear to add another item. And now it's inferring that when I hit new line, I get another option to insert text.
And this is great. So it's completed it. So when we're at the store tonight, this is just a few more items we got to get, and we'll have a nice whiskey sour.
Sweet. Thanks, Rapid Agent. Our next prompt is going to ask our agent to take a business idea we've already put in Google Keep, analyze it, and write out a revenue plan in Google Docs, then share it with our coworkers Simon and Ryan.
And so this is great because a lot of us are always throwing stuff into our Google Keep, but never letting those ideas come to fruition. So we can have the agent do the heavy lifting here to start to flesh out this idea and make a revenue plan for it.
Our approach to our AI agent allows it to take information in one app, process it, change it, and output it into another app, which is a different approach than a lot of AI agents that exist on the market, which are often pigeonholed into very specific tasks on very specific apps. Okay, cool. It looks like it looked through Google Docs and then found that it actually needs to create a new one.
And it's a little bit tricky because there are templates available, but it decided just to do an empty document.
Okay, it looks like it's foregone any kind of formatting or changes in font or styling, and it's gone right into spitting out the content. But after it gets into the market analysis, it looks like it's accidentally got a little stuck into a numbered list format, which, just judging by some repeat of numbers, it looks like it didn't intentionally mean to do.
And so that's one thing we can work on for improving the agent in the future is giving it that local context to know how to work with Google Docs. But it might not be aware that Google Docs auto picks up formatting based off what it's putting in. So the agent itself should be aware of what it's going to give Google Docs. Whether if it's a number, it knows that's going to activate the bullet point list, or it could just turn off auto formatting in the future.
And because our round trip cycle of taking the screen and passing the screen state to our agent to process before we get instructions back is happening when we deem that it's at a new state, the agent currently isn't aware that Google Docs is auto-formatted into a numbered list and thinks that it needs to do it itself, which is why you're seeing it putting in hyphens and some other stuff right now.
But yeah, it's great because it's starting to think about a multi-year plan for this idea that I came up with at lunch.
See a lot of zeros.
Yeah, we're not going to make much money, but that's okay. We need a finance agent next, to do it. But that shows what we're building here at Rabbit is a cross-platform agent system. And so the goal will be this was powered completely with our Android agent, and it's specialized in how to do actions on Android. In the future, we plan to come out with planning and deep research models that can do a lot more of this work and then hand off an actual revenue plan that's very thorough and makes a lot more sense than what our Android agent could do. And the Android agent will continue to focus on just getting stuff done for you on the tablet.
And we're also hoping to increase the loop at which we pass state back and forth to our agent so that if it gets into a state like this where there's something happening that it's unaware of, it'll pick up that, oh wait, Google Docs has obviously put these numbers in front of the stuff I'm trying to spit out and possibly correct it on the fly.
And as we get more users onto our Android agent, the Android agent will continue to get smarter as it becomes more aware and getting feedback from users on how to use it and reprompt it. And we can fine tune the agent to actually work with all these specific apps. It's very thorough.
It'll be interesting to see when it's done this summary if it shares properly. Because now,
Yes, we're waiting still for it to share.
yeah, because that share was kind of just tacked on to the query and it really needed to isolate it. Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah, and it's a surprise. I guess we don't have Google Docs allowing access to the context, so it's going to have that aspect.
Let's see how it handles this dialog box here.
I think it said allow.
I hope it did,
Yeah, the effort's going to have a hard time.
but
We will see very shortly.
no one's coming up. Okay, cool.
And you got suggestions.
So it navigated a kind of ad hoc first use share box because we hadn't shared on Google Docs before on this tablet. We never had to fill out that dialog before, but it read it, it analyzed it, and it realized that our contacts needed access from this app in order to fulfill the query of sharing it with Ryan and Simon. Sweet. For our last example today, we're going to try to download the game 2048 and have our agent play as far as it can get. We haven't really tested this fully, so it'll be interesting to see if it can navigate the App Store, download it, and if it's even somewhat good at this game, which has a lot of intricacies and strategy involved. And we haven't necessarily given it any strategy so far, right?
Yeah. And this is going to be a very long running task. We just want to get it running and see. We want to show everyone how far the agent can get today. So we're going to watch it get set up, and then we're going to just let it run for a few hours and see how far it can get. Or hopefully it can beat the game, I don't know, 30 minutes or so?
As you've seen with a lot of examples today, we have our core loop for this very first draft of our agent complete. But there's a lot of optimizations to be made on speed, intelligence, and how quickly it recognizes state. So as we progress on this in the coming weeks, we expect big gains on both performance, intelligence, and speed.
And it's exciting because this is one of the second agents we're bringing to Rabbit, with the web agent being the first. This is our Android agent. In the coming weeks, we have several more agents we want to share, and we'll be sharing how it'll all fit together into a cross-platform system. And so we can see here, it's got to set up the app. It downloaded it from the Play Store for us. We gave it that permission to go and download the app. And it just chose the top app at the time. And it's got to go and set up the app. It would be interesting to see if it wants a tutorial or if it feels pretty confident.
That would be cool if it does a tutorial, learns from it, and then it knows some strategy. But I bet it'll skip just based on our prompts. Maybe not though.
Yeah, again, this is intended to do like, we want to see tonight what it's going to do. So it is going through the tutorial to learn what it's going to do.
It's fascinating. I love the NBA music.
The science music.
I've never played this game.
I thought it was someone else putting it. And so, yeah, it's taking some time to learn, and now it's going to continue to go through the tutorial. And so I wonder, too, because this tutorial is a bit interesting in that it's telling it to swipe through for the game mechanics itself, but it looks like you would tap the arrow to get to the next screen.
Well,
Oh, yeah, so now it's on page 2, and it's starting a bit more of how to play this game.
but interestingly enough, page 1 had an arrow to the right to go to the next step, but it had 2 arrows to the left.
Yeah,
For learning or game direction suggestions. So I wonder how it's broken that down.
and hopefully it doesn't take this screen too serious, but it is an interesting mechanic. I know usually at the bottom is where 2048 is going to end out. So hopefully it kind of ignores that, thinks for itself what a good approach is.
That'd be funny if it chooses like the hardest one.
Only one. Well, is it that hard if it does like a 16 by 16, right? That would be easier. But I guess if I did a 2 by 2 or I don't know, really, I've never seen this app before. So I wonder what options are. Maybe it's going to try to like learn the whole app first before it commits to it because it knows it's the long dance. But it looks like it just went with the standard 4x4.
Yeah, I probably saw the word classic and was like, okay, I'm just being asked to play this game. Classic is probably the most basic version, so let's just go for it.
And so let's see it make the first move. And we'll come back later to see where it gets to. Interesting. Cool. And I guess what? We would assume it might go to the left or the right?
Well, the tutorial said leftwards first, so yeah.
Let's start it with the down. So yeah, I wonder, this gets a bit more nuanced, right? I don't know what the good strategy is. Naively, I would say go to the right, but I've never gotten 2048.
Thank you for joining us to walk through these examples with us. We hope you're able to gain some insight as to what we're working on here at Rabbit, and we hope you stay tuned for more updates as we iterate on speed and performance.